woke up around 7:45. The birds had not come out yet, like they typically would, though it wasn't particularly uncommon for them to stake their claim in the night and not have any stake in what they wanted to do with themselves. But I have decided that today is the day that I will make something of myself. Like I have said many other days before, but today will be different, because I know that I am special. The day began as I walked down the stairs to my mother's room. She was making a quilt, like she always had. It was green in color, with a large tapestry of all things that she loved in life. There were bugs and deer and beetles and all color of animal. There were faces of family member. There were small dogs. There were clouds. I moved on, moving towards the fridge to find something for breakfast. There was a small sandwich in the fridge for me, with my name on it. I put it in my pocket, because I knew that I would need it for later. I then reached in for an apple. I took a bite. It was juicy. It wasn't crisp. They had been in the fridge too long to keep their crisp. But I moved on, consuming the apple, and beginning my day by walking out the door. The sky was wide. The sky was blue. I looked up and I saw, as it always has been. I continued down the road to my car. Hopping in, I started the engine. It whirred to life as I began down the road. Each moment it began to sputter into something different. This car had been in my family for a rather long time, so different noises and different experiences were all that I could expect from her. She brought me where I needed to go, the building where I do my things. I stepped out of the car, looking over the great glass obelisk. Its stone structures expanded left and then right. I walked in the door. It slid open in response to my approach. As I entered my office, there was someone standing there for me. This was something that did not usually happen. I greeted them. They greeted me. I sat down. They did not do anything. They simply watched. I did not mind. I did my work, clacking away at my keyboard, each second orchestrated by the clicking of a mechanized plastic button. One and then the other and then the other, going on for hours and hours and hours. I closed my device, packed it back into my bag, and stood up from my chair. That person was still standing there. I greeted them. They greeted me. And I stepped out of my office. As I walked out the front door, somebody stopped me. I did not know their name, but they told me anyway. I looked at them, and I thought, and I walked out the building. I did not know what they wanted. I did not know if they wanted to keep talking. But I continued. As I re-entered my car, I still saw them standing there. They seemed unhappy. As I pulled into my driveway, the day becoming lower and lower, I could see the sunset brought hues of green and red and purple, all sorts of gradients across the sky. And I knew I was at home. I walked in the house. I saw my mother. She was still sewing that blanket. I walked past her. I walked up the stairs. I lay in my bed. I set a clock that I will hear again, and I lay down. Another day done. I woke to the sound of my clock ringing. I stood up. I looked out the window. The sky was blue, as it should be. I got up. I got dressed. I walked down the stairs. My mother, I saw her. She was sewing that blanket with all manner of things that she loved, with deer and bugs and animals and faces that I did not recognize, and babies and different manners of thing, and the color white. I walked to the fridge. I opened it. There was a package with my name on it, some portion of food inside. There was meat between the slices of bread. I put it in my pocket because I knew I'd need it later. I reached into the fridge and I grabbed an apple. It was soft. I took a bite and it was sweet. I put it in my pocket because I knew I'd need it later. As I walked out the door, I saw the sky again. It was blue. I entered my car. It sputtered to life as I turned the key, with all manner of new noises that I had heard before and ones that I had not heard. As I made my way down the road, I saw a deer. It did not see me. As I entered my house, as I entered my office, as I entered my place, I saw that man again, the man who saw me last night. I did not greet him. He did not greet me. He could not see me. I walked up to my office. That person was still standing there, watching. I did not mind. I didn't mind at all. I sat down. I began clacking mechanisms of plastic and metal, again and again and again. I looked at the bright screen, my words coming to life. I kept going, time after time after time after time after time after time. I watched as they grew, and then I closed my laptop. I closed my device. I closed my window. I put it in my bag. I stood up. I looked at that person in my office. And then I left. I did not mind. As I walked out the office, someone stopped me. They looked unhappy. I looked at them, and I turned, and I left. I went to my car. I turned it on. I turned the key, and I drove home. I opened the door. My mother was there, sewing a blanket. I went up the stairs. My room, still there. My bed, still there. My face, I look in the mirror, still there. I lie down. I can't sleep. And then I sleep. There is no dream. I wake up to the sound of my clock. I stand up. I stand forward in that room. I take my legs, I put them off the bed. I look forward. Nothing is there. Nothing except the sky. Out the window. It is green with the sunrise. I'm early. I've woken early. I get dressed. I brush my teeth. I go down the stairs. My mother is sewing a blanket with faces, with squares, with rectangles, with triangles, with all shape. and she sews it, and she does not look at me, and I do not look at her. I go out the door. I look up, and the sky is green, and the sky is green. The sun is up and the sky is green. And oh, how beautiful it is. Oh, how different it is. I gaze for hours, and I keep gazing, I keep looking, and then there is nothing. And so that's where I have been, for as long as I have remembered. This darkness, this nothingness, I cannot do, I cannot speak, I cannot repeat, but I know that I saw that green light. I know that I saw that green sky. I know that I bore witness to the greatest thing that has ever been. And I smile with no teeth. I gaze up with no eyes, and I smile. Because I knew it had to be me.